Thanks for tuning in to The Real Deal Show, brought to you by ebodyboarding.com and Tribe Boards. Hey folks, Jay Reale here with The Real Deal Show, and this person sitting next to me is perhaps my most special guest to date. This is my mother, Carolyn Reale. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jay. I'm excited about this little... Is this a podcast?
She hates this stuff. She doesn't even know what a podcast is, right?
No, you told me what it was.
I told her what it was. My mom just celebrated her birthday yesterday. I'm back here on the East Coast at her house to celebrate her birthday with her. And I thought, who better to interview than the woman behind my bodyboarding career, really? So what I want to do, Mom, is let's just kind of relive some of those memories, some good and some bad, of my bodyboarding days. Let's go back first to, the early days. When I was a little kid, we grew up where? Where did our family?
Actually, in Flower Valley in Rockville.
Which is a suburb of Washington, D.C.
And we bought a place at the beach, a house, and started spending summers at the beach. That led to buying and running beach stands in Ocean City. Now, Jay was one of the...
Uh-oh, hang on.
Wait.
Hold on, let me reclip your mic. Hang on. It's between your legs there. Hang on, Mom. I was one of the what?
Jay was one of the beach stand operators.
The best, right?
Next to him was Mitch, who had
That's my brother.
His other beach stand. Mitch was the first one to have boogie boards in that area, I think.
Okay.
So he would lend Jay the boogie board.
But I was really good at running the beach stand, right?
Oh, God, he was so bad.
What do you mean?
Mostly, all it had to do was blow a little bit, and he would have his sweats on and sit on top of the beach box, which really inspired the people in those condos to come out to the beach.
She's being completely sarcastic, of course.
And rent a chair or umbrella or whatever. He just didn't have it for beach, but he did it the whole summer.
I didn't really have a work ethic, at that age. But the bonus was I got to go out and ride some waves when I wasn't busy, right?
Yes, Mitch would lend him the boogie board, and he would go out and ride waves.
So,
and I would watch the stand while he was gone.
You're such a gem, Mom. I really appreciate that. So,
but that wasn't his calling.
So, we moved to the beach in 1980. You were working for the school system up in Montgomery County near Washington, D.C., where we grew up, and then you quit that job to move to the beach. Were you happy about that move?
And that school was the school that Jay went to.
Yeah, so she would sneak me food from the pizza place across the street.
That's right. I'd have to run over and get him like meatball subs or whatever. So anyhow, then we moved to the beach. And that was an experience for Jay to move there when he was, I think you were going into your senior year.
11th grade. I was 16.
11th grade at Stephen Decatur in Ocean City.
That's the high school.
Actually,
it's in Berlin, which is just west of Ocean City.
And so he got along. He was okay there. He was a little nervous going there. Like, who am I going to sit with?
Well, I didn't know anyone.
Who am I going to sit with at lunch? Well, anyhow, he met a lot of friends. Somewhere along the way, he played drums.
Well, yeah, I've talked about that in one of my prior shows. I drummed and sang in multiple groups and met a lot of people through that, but I also had a group of friends who were bodyboarders and surfers. So
they had a surf club, I think.
They tried to have a surf club, but if the waves were good, half the kids would skip school and go surfing. Not me, mind you.
No, never.
Never,
Jay. He
nope.
was very good student, very involved in the choir, the singing, the shows at Stephen Decatur.
Yeah.
And from there he went to Salisbury State.
Which is a college.
Now it's called Salisbury University.
Right. So through college, I was competing locally, and you guys would show up at the contest. Did you have any idea what was going on out there? Because you guys aren't really ocean people.
No, what Lou was, remember, he was
That's my dad.
He was from Atlantic City.
Well, part of his youth was spent in Atlantic City.
Yeah, a good part of his youth. So he would sit there and complain
to the judges.
And, well, look, I think my son did a good El Rolo out there.
Having no idea what that meant.
But he was there. He always wanted to go watch. He liked it. I think he went to watch more than I did.
Yeah, he showed up at more events probably than you did. But so eventually, you know, I did these contests, but I was working for you and Dad at your sub shop and bakery.
More the bakery.
What would happen when the flags were blowing offshore and I knew there were waves? What was that like? I couldn't call in sick because I lived at home.
It was at the bakery that this happened.
Yeah.
And he'd say, "Mom, can you come and watch the bakery? I'll come back after and clean up. You can just lock the door and leave everything."
Always a negotiation to get out the door to go surf.
And he would come back and clean up.
I was a good kid.
But he always, if there was a wave, he was on it.
And I still am to this day.
And the surprising thing was when he went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
For a pipeline contest. You said it was the first one, right?
Yeah, well, the first one that Maury Bodyboards ran. They did it many years in a row, yeah.
I had to laugh because Jay's dad, Lou, took him to the Italian club to try to
get... Oh, my God, the Sons of Italy.
Yes, yeah, to try to get money to travel.
That's right.
And those guys were like, what the H is that?
Me?
You know, I don't think they gave money.
They had like they had like these community charity things. The Sons of Italy is basically like a group of Italian dudes.
They still have that, Italian. Yeah.
And they would gather and just eat and drink and stuff, but they would do charitable stuff for the community, and he tried to convince them to give me money to go to Hawaii. I even came and spoke at the Sons of Italy meeting, and like you said,
they give money?
They didn't give me any money. No, it was. I don't think they did.
I think they just said goodbye and good luck.
And I think Dad was angry about that.
Yeah.
He might have quit.
I think he did quit.
He quit. He was bitter.
He quit. So anyhow, I guess you went every year for that. After that.
I did for a number of years through college. I'd spend the winters, one winter with my friend Buckwheat and other winters with different people during my winter break at college. And people helped me. Jack Crosby at BB Bombers.
Big time.
Jeff and Kathy ran a benefit contest to raise money to help me go one year, I think, which is, I mean, it's amazing. There's so much charity, so many people helping me along the way back in those days especially. And you guys put me through college, and I got my degree to teach science. So he did
not get out of college with college debt.
I didn't have any debt. So you guys did.
He took off immediately. Well,
a year later.
He stayed 1 year thinking because he had a degree to teach high school science.
Yeah, and I wanted to save money to move to California.
So he would substitute if there were no waves.
That's right. If there's swell and they called me to sub, sorry, I can't sub today.
Yeah, so anyhow, he stayed. I think you left for California in September.
Late April. 1987.
And packed that car.
Yep.
Of course, I cried as he left. And he had a jar of peanut butter.
And a loaf of bread.
And a loaf of bread. And might have had a jar of jelly. I don't.
Maybe. I was like super low budge. I didn't have much money.
And he drove. I don't even think
I drove 4 days. No, I did. I drove about 8 to 10 hours a day. Stopped and stayed in motels, the cheapest motels I could
Mary
find.
Lee Christensen
Yes.
was nice enough to let him stay with her.
Yep.
When he first got there.
Yeah, for about a month. So I have to ask you, what did you think was going to happen? Like, here I was following my dream to be a pro bodyboarder. You guys had just put me through college, and I've basically decided I'm going to go ride waves for a living. Did you think I would be back in a year with my head between my legs?
No, I figured that you'd probably stay there, but I figured that you'd get into substitute teaching.
You thought I would teach but still live in California?
Yeah.
So you didn't think I would make it in the pro bodyboarding world? Thanks a lot.
Well, I don't think there was a big make it or break it then. I mean, Mike Stewart was well known.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a big field then, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the beginning of the boom of the sport. But you guys over here, you didn't really kind of know what was going on. There was no internet or anything back then. So anyway, eventually I got there. I started my bodyboarding career. And
you moved in with Keith Suzuki.
I did, Keith, yes.
Oh, God, what an experience that was.
That was an experience.
I think they were a little mean when you moved.
Oh, they loved to play pranks on me. I was an easy target. So they would hide my food and, you know, I won a scooter and they would hide that and, you know, pretend they stole or make me think someone stole it. They would do all kinds of stuff. It was sort of an initiation, if you will.
So then after that, I think you lived with Dave Kniff for a while.
No, I lived with Dave at the beginning, then Keith, and then by myself after that point. So, yeah, so, I mean, as my career, like, got better and better, what did you think? I mean, did you think, well, geez, he's kind of surprising us. He's making this happen. Or were you like, nope, this is what we expected?
Yeah, I think we were pretty much, that's it. He's going to stay in the water the rest of his life.
Okay, let's back up real quick. We're at the bodyboarding thing. Back up. When I was little, what was the sport I was best at?
Well, first off, I took him to water babies.
You did. I remember water babies. How old was I? 2, 3, 4?
Like 4, I think.
I remember. It was an indoor pool.
Yep. And
that's one of my
swim.
earliest memories. You couldn't swim and still can't.
No,
she can't even swim.
I really can, but I just don't really like swimming. So,
oh my God,
I took swimming lessons a couple times. So anyhow, when he learned to swim that young, and then we'd come to the beach, and he could jump off the diving board, and people were like, wow, look at that little kid who can jump off the diving board. So he was always kind of a water person, I think.
Okay.
And once he got that beach stand thing, which I have to give Mitch credit for that, because Mitch's friend Billy Barr always swears he stole the beach stands from his father.
Oh, God. This is for another show.
Yeah. So
another show.
I mean, that being on the beach really kind of pushed that bodyboarding career, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, I talked in one of my earlier shows about Lee Smythe. We had the condo, and we'd spend a few weeks of summer down there, and Lee Smythe and I would ride rafts. And I remember vividly his dad
canvas rafts
pushing me into a giant, what I thought was a giant wave. It was probably 3 feet high, and I will never forget that thrill. And I wanted to constantly recapture that thrill. So anyway, let's other sports that I played as a kid.
Soccer for quite a while.
Yeah.
Then he went into football.
I played football.
And he was the first one to ever kick a field goal in this little league football group that he did.
Yeah, man.
But that was from his soccer experience.
That's why they made me kicker, because I had come from soccer background.
So from there,
I played softball as a little kid. Waved yarn in the outfield.
He was always an outfielder.
Because I sucked.
And he wasn't really a good hitter, good player. God. But he would stand in the outfield, he'd find a piece of yarn in the grass, and he'd, "Oh, ball's coming, Jay!" Woo-woo.
Thanks, Mom. I played basketball, too, and golf. I golfed on the high school golf team, but I never got good enough to qualify for a tournament, so I was basically useless.
No, he ended up being in the right profession.
I found my groove with bodyboarding for sure. So
and the amazing thing, I think, was that we thought it was a thing that maybe would last a year or two, and then he would teach. My daughter teaches. And we just kind of thought that's what he'd do, and it just never ended.
No, the bodyboarding kept going. So then I had that 12-year career as a bodyboarder. I met Vicky.
He met Vicky when Vicky, I think, was 14 and you were 24.
No, 16 and 25. You're close.
16 and 25.
She was 16, I was 25, yes.
And that was like, I think the next year when Vicky graduated from high school.
Yep.
That you happened to run into her again in the airport.
That was 2 years later. She was now 18 and I was 27. So in Hawaii, that's right. And that's kind of when we started our relationship. Was that
so
year.
That was a forever thing. Once they met, then it was like forever.
Do you approve of Vicky
I love Vicky.
Oh, good.
And I don't think that Jay could have found a better wife.
Oh, Vicky, you hear that? Look, there's Vicky right there. And there's you, Mom.
Yeah, there's the family
family painting. It's a little creepy, but it's
I'm
cool.
I'm just trying to decide which kid to leave that to, and they all say, "Not me, not me." Nobody wants that painting.
Nobody wants it.
But one of them are getting it.
Oh, God. So
anyhow, then Jay and Vicky, I think it was like 2001, maybe, when you started that e-bodyboarding, was it?
1999. It was the same year we got married.
No, but I mean when you bought that warehouse.
That was 2004. We bought the warehouse. So, but yeah, I mean, we built the business. Were you surprised at that? Probably not, because you guys come from an entrepreneurial background, and so did Vicky's parents. So we learned a lot from you guys.
Vicky's parents really do. I mean, being in the outback and her cooking and him out there with
guiding
with the wild animals and whatever. But I had a little store called My Place in Ocean City, in a condo that I own the condo. I kept that for 38 years.
Yes.
Jay worked there.
Through college.
You think you were there 4 years? I didn't think so.
Probably 3 summers. 3 summers I worked there.
And he was so there.
Ah, it was great.
Oh, God. He'd do stuff like put plastic bags over the milkshake machine so that it splashed. You would have to clean it at night.
Easy cleanup. You just rip the plastic off the wall.
Clean. Crazy stuff he did.
I was logical thinker.
And he had... Did Claire work there
when
you did?
My friend Claire, yep.
Claire now lives in California. Yep. And they had this pact, the two of them. If they weren't married by the time she was 30, they would marry each other.
That didn't happen.
No,
as you know.
I think Claire got married in self-defense.
So she wouldn't have to marry me?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think
that's
at
nice.
29 she said, gotta hurry up here. So anyhow, it was quite an experience. And there I am now with a kid in Florida in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
God bless him.
My brother Mitch.
Jay in California.
For almost 35 years I've been out there now.
Now, every year, for the last 3 years, I think, 3 years,
Yeah.
both of them have been here for my birthday.
Right.
This year, Mitch is not there because
He doesn't love you as much as I do.
he does.
Just kidding.
He says
he was just
does.
here like 6 weeks ago. And you're going to see him in 6 more weeks.
But the reason really that he's not here is he has no help.
The restaurant biz, we all know, here in the pandemic times of 2021.
They work 2 days and get enough tips to quit.
And our sister, her daughter, works as a flight attendant for Southwest now. She's retired from the school system. And she's having a crazy times. You know all about flight attendants and what they're dealing with lately. So, yeah, we're all over the map. No one's here, though. Yeah,
that's the bad part. Now, Lisa does 6 and 6.
Yeah.
She's a snowbird.
So she lives in Florida half the year and here for
Yeah.
part of the year. So, but anyway, to bring the conversation back to bodyboarding, just real quick for the listeners on the podcast and those of you watching YouTube, you and Dad never laid on a bodyboard in your lives, still to this day.
Never.
So
I think I have 4 in my shed here, though, from that stay here for when Mitch and kids come to visit.
There's for guests.
Now, Jay came every summer when Mitch came, or most, but the last 2 years with COVID and whatever, I have not seen Vicky or the kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's I know. Tough to get the whole crew over here.
And they're busy because Sage is a cheerleader. She's busy. Kieran, thank God, has learned it. He knew how to surf, but he's into it now.
Yep.
Which obviously makes Jay super happy.
Yeah. Let's see how long it lasts.
Maybe
Hopefully
he'll
it's forever.
get a career with it.
Oh man, pro surfer. Woo! They make a lot more money than bodyboarders. I'm sure. But
would he rather surf than bodyboard?
Well, right now he likes surfing. He'll ride bodyboards too.
But he
rides
surfing.
It all. Well, yeah, just if he had a choice, he'd ride the surfboard.
But they're very lucky in the sense that business is good for them at e-bodyboarding, and God, they go to great places. They get groups together and go to great places. And so he's got a dream life.
Well, to button all this up, I have to say thank you, Mom, and to Dad, who rest in peace, Dad, for everything you did to get me to this point. You got me my first bodyboard, Christmas of 1979. Got me my first wetsuit, spring of 1980, at the Fenwick Island Surf Shop. Is where we got my first wetsuit. And you basically let me off work when the waves were good. You helped me get to Hawaii for Pipeline, California, Hatteras for all these events that I traveled to. And you supported me all along the way. You still do with e-bodyboarding. You'll throw out little tidbits of business advice even to this day, 22 and a half years we've been in business, and your history as a business person, it's invaluable. So
thanks,
Mom.
Fenwick Island Surf Shop called Clear Light
Surf Shop, that's right.
Woo!
Dang.
Yeah,
the memory's still working. It's a dude named Richard Nast.
She's lost it.
But yeah, thank you so much for all that, everything.
Thank
Mom.
you for being a good son.
Give me a kiss. Mwah. Thanks, Mom. So anyway, that'll do it for this episode of The Real Deal Show. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you got to meet my wonderful mother, Carolyn. If you're ever back in the Mid-Atlantic, reach out to her. She loves the party. You can take her out dancing.
I'm a real party animal. As long as you have martinis at the party.
Oh, now you're talking. So, folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can get all the Real Deal shows, which premiere every Sunday night, as long as I'm not too busy. And we'll see you at the next show. Over and out. See you in the surf.